Smiling faces around here, and well, they're out of beat. And the race is on in our barrel racing, Pam.
It certainly is. Wendell Hamilton was the supporter of the year of the Women's Professional Rodeo Association. We get a good look at him and his wife, Pat, in the stands. He was presented this award because Award Design Metals has jumped in there and put about $500,000 this year into rodeo, and they make it possible for us to see this ESPN production of the National Finals Rodeo.
You know, Pam, I think that's a super story to begin our barrel racing with. The support for the ladies, the WPRA, or the Women's Professional Rodeo Association. There's a smile on Wendell, and we appreciate all he does for professional rodeo.
Here's the story in the barrel race, Marlene Edelman and Charmaine Rodman. Now, what I see is that it's going to come down to this run, which is unbelievable. In the Women's Professional Rodeo Association, Randy, there's 2,000 members. There are 600 approved barrel races and $2 million payoff, but it's going to come down to today's run. The way I see it, either girl has got to make a flawless run and shut out the other. There's only a few girls still alive in the average as far as not hitting a barrel. One of them is Lana Merrick. The other is Charlotte Smith.
Well, that's the way that it looks on 9 through 15. Now, remember, this competition is so close that the ladies cut it to hundredths of seconds, and because of that, it could change at any time. However, in this race, I would have to say that we have really spread that out a lot farther.
We certainly have. The lady that will lead us off is Vicki Vickers. Now, she's placed twice this week, and both of them were first-place wins. Right now, she is setting with the fastest time of the finals to date, which is a 14:25. That will set the pace. We'll see if anybody can beat that. And like I said, though, the race for the World Championship will be about halfway through this go-round when Charmaine will run, followed by Marlene Edelman.
All right, Vicki gets ready to start her run. We might ask one question. You've mentioned before that sometimes these horses spoil running 10 rounds in one arena.
They certainly do, and we can usually look for penalties. Although it's been about, 15, 16 hours since they've had a run, they've gotten a chance to tune their horses up. No penalties there. She tips it. She's moved from 12th to 6th, and a great run to start our barrel race, 14:32.
Nice work for Vicki Vickers. This is a Terrell, Texas lady, Beth Broderick, getting ready to make her run for us. Now, she has been blank so far. I'm going to root for her to make some money in the round.
She's failed to place, but she's really going to have to get old Gray Cloud in line. She told me he hadn't been firing. He's making excellent runs. She's taken a couple of penalties this week, but she has not picked up a paycheck.
See the time on the run of 14:62 in our barrel racing. This event is being sanctioned by the Women's Professional Rodeo Association.
You know, there's a neat thing this year at the National Finals Rodeo. No competitor will actually get blanked out because they're guaranteed $1,000 for making the trip here. So Beth Broderick will take home some money. This is Cheryl Lumen. She's placed twice. They've both been fourth place wins. 14:53 tonight. That's one of her best runs of the week.
Nice job for Cheryl Lumen. As we look now to a Hartner, Kansas lady, Colette Bear. Our story on Colette Bear is almost $9,000. She has placed 4 times in this competition.
And when we talk about breeding and bloodlines in a horse, boy, he is really firing today. This is the only stallion at the National Finals Rodeo. A tough break, a costly 5-second penalty, turns her time to a 19:49.
Well, we take a look at John Ferris. He's the arena director for the ladies, bringing them down that alley. He happens to be the husband also of our Secretary of the Year, Mildred Ferris.
He does a wonderful job making sure that the barrels are set on the markers, the electronic timer's set good. This is Marty Meter. Now, she is back on her good horse. Ooh, had to hold him off from hitting that barrel. She placed in round 1 and 2, and then he got crippled, got an abscess, a nail in his foot.
Well, she's not had a bad finals, almost $10,000 as we look at a 14:56 time for Marty Meter. There's a look at our standings, number 1 through 8, Marlene Edelman, Charmaine James. You see them as the hottest portion of that standings list.
Tracy Crosby is a rookie. She's a first-year member, and until the 9th go-round, she was in good shape for the Rookie of the Year title when she took a penalty. 14:58, a good run today.
Beautiful run for her. Gail Beebe, and to tell her story of the national final, she's last in the average, has not made any money in her winnings here, and this is not the kind of finals for the talent of this good barrel racer in South Dakota.
She changed horses. Whoa. She changed horses in round 9, and that horse had trouble with the ground.
Watch this back again, Pam, and I'm going to say something for Gail Beebe. I can see right now her concern is that horse is okay. Watch close. That ground is getting deep there, but it's
right
slick
there
on the bottom.
His right back leg went out from underneath him. It's good that she both got away without an injury. Now, I'd like to mention that there is an award for the Hard Luck Cowboy that's presented by Miss Hazel Turner of the Houston Livestock Show. She would be my vote for that Tough Luck Award at the NFR.
Well, you'd have to give it to her, wouldn't you?
This is Deb Mohan. Now, as the ground gets deeper, sometimes it gets slick. As girls run, let's see if the rest of them have trouble with it. Deb Mohan is around clean.
Oh, look at her reach back. She reached back, set that barrel up on her own. Good run for Deb.
Now, the electronic timer has stopped. We'll have to get a word from our scorecard to see what the time will be from our judges stand.
Our in-house announcers, Bob Tallman, Phil Gardenhire, tell us it is a 14:40, 14:40.
See, then it goes to the 10th of a second. That's why we have a backup timer and a backup flagman to make sure that everything is all right. I don't know if perhaps when Gail Beebe's horse fell, if maybe he fouled that timeline.
That could be a possibility, and you can see them moving around the line down there.
They're checking.
Yes, Marty Backstrom is going over to check that other eye. He runs our scoreboard and electric eye for us.
Could mean the difference between a world championship and a second place.
There again is a look at that 8-1 position. Marlene Edelman, Charmaine Rodman are the big race of this one. Tracy Crosby had a great final so far, sets fourth in that average, and those are the stories to watch for.
Here's the way I figure it. Marlene Edelman, as you see, $9,000 ahead, but Charmaine in the lead for that $13,000 average payoff. It looks like either one will have to shut out the other today, but we go to Sealy Ray, who's had basically a wonderful finals, but some tough luck. She won 3 go-rounds, won $18,000.
Sealy checks that horse nice around the first barrel. You see our clock in the upper right-hand corner. It looks like it's back on track.
This horse is outstanding and can really fire in this arena. 14:47. It looks like she'll be in the money.
Looking for some more of that money to add to the $18,000 she already has.
Reminding you that Vicki Vickers winning with a 14:32 right now.
Martha Josie, rides CJC, I'm sorry. This lady, I've got to say, is one of the most phenomenal people on finding the talent of good horses and using it.
Whoa, her horse really came wide off of that first barrel. I don't know if he had trouble with the ground. She just wanted to get around them penalty-free so she can get a little bit of that average money.
She had tipped a barrel over previously, comes in at 14.72. She has made $13,000 already here at the finals this year.
All right, hold your breath, because here comes Charmaine Rodman. She knows she's got to go for it, but she can't hit a barrel. Oh, he runs by, stands her up in the saddle. She loses a stirrup. But this girl, when the reps are on, Randy, that's when she makes her best runs.
I know it.
A few years ago, she lost her bridle around the go-round.
Well, it's not going to be that great today, 14.95, but boy, did she just avoid devastation. Evaded it completely.
That's all you need to do.
Man.
She did get around him penalty-free, but she won't place in the go-round. If Marlene Edelman wins first or second, now that Charmaine is out of placing, if she wins either first or second, which means she has to be under a 14.40, she will win the World Championship.
Well, it might be the biggest run of her life in the 10th round of the 1989 National Finals. Here is Marlene Edelman. She's good on that first barrel. Everybody turns each barrel with her. This arena is going to explode in just a moment, right now.
As we watch the clock, if she's over 14.40, 14.56, I think that means that Charmaine wins the world. It is so close.
Well, we're going to call it unofficially that Charmaine would, in that fashion, win our world. But we're not done yet as far as the barrel racing concerned. Here's a Florida lady, Cheryl Mann, making her run.
Two good turns. She's only placed twice at this year's national finals, but she's just tickled to be here. She will get some good checks throughout the week. A tough penalty. 1965 her total time.
Now, as Lana Hempstead gets ready to come, Scotty's the good horse she rides. Here's the story on this gal. She has stayed solid throughout. She sets third in the average. Then last night in the 9th round, she came unglued to win the round and over $6,000. She could have a great paycheck yet ahead of her.
And with that tough break with Charmaine Rodman going to 14.95, it might move her up. She could very possibly win the average.
Well, now she slides out in a time of 14.82. Now, we are not sure yet as far as our championship of the world. We tell you that as we take a look at Charlotte Schmidt. So close and so tough to call.
Charlotte Schmidt is 0.5 of a second under Charmaine Rodman. So if she's in the 14.4s, she could win the average. She hadn't been making a real good showing as far as winning money. However, she had been consistent. She's penalty free. She will win probably no less than second in the average.
$84.
Well, we take a look at the time on that run, 14.89. We're receiving word from our truck right now as to an official or unofficial, I should say, champion of the world. But I think it is going to go to Roma, Colorado's Marlene Edelman when we get our facts back. That is unofficial on our call for the round. Vicky Vickers, Deb Mohan, Seeley Ray, then Cheryl Luman. What a great national finals for the barrel racing. We'll be back with more excitement right after this word.